Welcome everybody who's in the chat. We are finally back after a long hiatus, just due to a bunch of things from illness to Christmas. But it is nice to be back. Last time we had a pretty crazy episode to take such a long break on, but overall I think it worked out. So last time, we were in Hommlet. A few different things happened because you had already come back from the dungeon and you had met the Hydra and all that sort of stuff about 2 episodes ago. You met basically every diverse creature you could meet in a dungeon in one session. You basically met that day. So you came back, sort of chilled out in Hommlet for a bit. You talked to Turgeon and asked him to join you guys to come to the temple to help deal with some skeletons that you ran into because they almost really messed your day up. And he agreed to that. You went around, did a few other things, got some scrolls from Burn that you had, because you had him going through the spellbook that you found off of that dead wizard. So you got 3 scrolls back, and they're all pretty good scrolls. We got those stat out for you for today's session, or for any future session you might use them for. And then Hommlet got attacked. A lot of people got dragged off. You were able to, save a bunch that were in town, but there were a few merchants that got, unfortunately, carried away, as well as some other ones you might not have been able to do anything about. And what else is there? Oh, Naomi's back with the group now. She finished her training, and she is a healer. So she has a little bit more magic ability to her now, and she can actually help heal with magic. So that will be very, very useful. I'm trying to think anything else that really happened. Wanalon's back in the group as well, now that you found him again after he was off for a bit. And outside of that, we basically left off with you guys just hanging off to the beckoning bench for the meeting with the town and a bunch of other mercenaries and that sort of thing. Is there anything I missed there that you want to throw in, Mark?
Yeah, the only other thing we went to do was go and see the orcs, and we managed to get Devik, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Devik and 3 other so far unnamed orcs that were and they said they'll basically just meet you guys on the way up to the the temple whenever you guys want to meet up with them and go off.
Orcs.
Yeah, so you have a few extra orcs there as well with you. Devik will go with you guys in the temple, but the other 3 are basically just going to be there to watch the horses as they there was a bad omen about the temple, and a lot of them basically just want to stay out of it for the most part, but they're willing to help out where they can. But yeah, that's where we left off. And also, since we last played, I've been able to learn a lot more about Worlds Without Number. For those unaware, there was a 5-hour video on the new Atlas Thayer Earth Atlas Thayer Earth book that I did with Jack, and that was good. So I actually learned a lot from Jack and from the book itself. So as we go forward, I'm going to try and do a lot more Worlds Without Number stuff and start weaning off of the OSC AD&D stuff I've been sort of taking over time, which might also mean things might get a little bit harder as well, because the Worlds Without Number monsters and that sort of thing are quite a different beast in terms of their abilities and other things they have compared to the OSC ones. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything, right, Martin? I don't understand anything else. Perfect. All right, so we are basically around 2 or 3 hours or so after the attack. You are at the beckoning bench with your group. It is pretty tightly packed here. You see many different mercenary groups. You see a lot of diverse ones that you've sort of seen going in and out of Hommlet on your own travels, either at the market or in the morning. Ones you haven't really spoken to, but you've seen around. You see groups of young men and women who have been off adventuring in the area. You see, groups of half-orcs and some elves and half-elves and all sorts of different ones. You in fact also see the woman and with the dwarves that you've seen at the temple, the ones that have gone down the rope. You actually see her and 3 dwarves sort of posted in the back. There's in fact so many people here that there's lots of people who aren't really sitting down. They're up in the back walls. They're doing this and that, and they're kind of just not quite sardines. But for how many people are here, it is weirdly quiet. There's some murmuring and some talking, but there's not any usual boisterous laughter or music or anything like that. It's a very grim scene here. However, it seems like Ostler at least is making a pretty penny as he's going around having his waiters and waitresses give out beer and food and that sort of thing. So in your group, are able to sort of sit down. Some of them aren't able to get seats. And you guys are sort of chatting amongst yourselves. You guys get some drinks. And finally, after a little bit of waiting, Rufus comes through the front door along with the what's the word I'm looking for? I was gonna say the overlord. That's not the right word I want to think.
The town elder.
The elder. Thank you. I was
Elder,
like the
yeah.
overlord, the overlord of Hommlet. But yeah, you see them. You also see a man with both of them that looks very much like Elmo, but older. A little bit grayer. Different features here and there, but overall, it definitely looks like it's either his father or his uncle. And they are also with a few guards. And the elder says, "Thank you all for coming here. Obviously, with the attacks today, things have gone out of hand. This is the worst attack we've had in a very, very long time. I've not had an attack like this since I took the position here. And we are looking to ask you for your help with this going forward. It's come to our understanding that while there were the attacks in the Grove and in the streets, there were also some others who have obviously kidnapped people from their homes quietly without others noticing. And our current numbers look at perhaps around 30 people missing from the village. Women, children, men. And we are looking to you guys for your help with this. And he goes on, and I'll sort of paraphrase this as he's talking to the different ones, about the different duties he needs and that they're going to pay well. He talks about like extra guards, because obviously the people who are sort of man-at-arms here are usually just sort of farm boys or craftsmen, that sort of thing. They're not like warriors. So it is good to have those extra men there, but having actual mercenaries and adventurers who actually know what they're doing would be good to have around town. You see a few people kind of, smirk and shake their heads and walk out. A few groups that look like they're not, really, this is not really what they signed up for when it comes to their whole mercenary gig. But the elder goes to different ones, asking them about different work they can do for them, either defending the town, patrolling the streets, going off and looking at different outposts they think the temple has in the wilderness and that sort of thing. So he kind of just goes around, talks to different ones. You see some people agreeing, some people disagreeing, and bartering and that sort of thing. And finally the elder comes around to your table. And he says, Griff, it's a pleasure to actually finally meet you. I've heard much about you from Byrne and Rufus and some of the other council members, and he just puts out can't speak. He puts out his hand to shake yours, and he says, "I know you're already, from what I hear, funding quite a bit of coin in the temple, so I'm sure that won't necessarily be the best way to ask you for your help. But one thing I can do, if you're willing to sort of make your priority when you go to the temple to find people, is that I will be able to move the paperwork along in terms of getting you your land deed for your house. And though I can't promise to give you much of a discount or any sort of thing like that on the craftsmen and all that, I can ask them to make your house a priority, both for the masons, the carpenters, and all them. I can ask them to make sure that they can get the foundation started and get that building going for you. And if all I ask in return is if you're going to the temple, if you can try making rescuing villagers a priority for you, that would be very much appreciated."
Absolutely. I'd be very grateful if we could get the. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. Maybe a house tower. I don't know. But yeah. If we can get that going sooner, I'll be very grateful. I don't suppose you know whether there was anything left behind anywhere. And he pulls out of his pockets, one of his many pockets, one of these earth symbols that he's picked up. Anything like this hanging around, or maybe a different symbol? Maybe give me a clue where to look.
Yeah, he looks at it and he sort of takes out your hand and looks it over. He says, "Yeah, many of the robed men, women, and other sort of creatures that attacked had either these symbols on their cloaks or around their necks." He says it looks like, from what we can tell, there was ones from the Earth Temple, but it also seems like there might have been some from maybe perhaps like the Wind Temple, or at least it didn't seem like it was just the Earth Temple that attacked us, or the Earth faction rather, within the temple. This seemed to be a bit more of a perhaps sort of a cooperative group between them, but mostly Earth Temple.
Right.
Yeah, most of that faction.
Well, that's off-putting. I was hoping that it would just be one of them, but Well, I suppose we'll have to clear the whole place out then.
Yeah, he says it is a little bit disconcerting because our knowledge so far was that we thought that the different factions in the temple were somewhat divided, but if they are working together against us, they might have perhaps at least some of them might put aside their differences in the hopes of working
Yeah.
together against us. So this is kind of why we're pushing along, trying to get help from everybody here. As he sort of just waves around, looking towards all the other adventurers here who are looking ready to go.
I don't suppose you've got any idea. I mean, and he pulls out a crappy old bit of parchment with some stuff scrawled on it. And there's a guy called Romag in the Earth Temple. I don't know if you've come across that name before.
Um,
And if you've come across any others.
he says, who was the do you have their name there, Martin, for the second in command? Because I remember there was another
Yeah,
guy.
so he scratches through the bit of paper and goes, there was someone called Harch or Hearts or some weird name like that, he says.
Right, and he says, we don't have exact details, but definitely stuff on Romag and Harch. We definitely know that if there's anybody who's leading the Earth Temple, it's definitely those two.
Right.
It's unclear if there's anybody else alongside them. But in terms of that faction, it definitely seems like they are leading it, and we definitely know that they're answering to somebody else there, but we don't know who that is. But we do believe that if Romag and Harch are dealt with, the Earth Temple could very easily be a lot more divided, or at least severely weakened by that.
And you don't have any details of anybody in the air temple or fire? There must be a fire temple.
He says, off the top of my head, I don't have any names, but he says he does believe it is a similar case for them as well, and he also believes that they're all answering to the same boss. However, for whatever reason, they're not working together, or whatever it might be. He doesn't know exactly past that, but it seems to be at least like they're all sort of equally divided and have sort of some sort of hierarchy. But it's a weird case of them not all working together, which he seems pretty thankful for. Because if they're all working together, it would probably be a much different scenario for the region.
Well, I'll tell you what I was thinking. It's a bit of a strange question me asking that, but I was sort of thinking you could maybe get Byrne. He's a clever guy. Maybe to write some letters or something. If you had the name of somebody, you could say, about the, I don't know, Steel Air Temple bosses, prized staff or something. I don't know. Just make some stuff up and plant it somewhere. Put it on someone that gets captured deliberately, that kind of thing.
That's not a bad
But
idea at all.
if we had some names, you see, we could start that off.
Absolutely. I mean, if you are able to find any more names, I do think we might have some names here and there. But if you're able to find anybody else, that would be helpful for sure.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do. Yeah. I mean, if they can fight each other, as you say, probably a bit easier than fighting them ourselves.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a fantastic idea, Griff.
Yeah. Right. Well, we'll load off at some point. What time is it, by the way? It must be sort of late evening.
Yeah, I'd say it's sort of late evening. As you guys have just sort of gathered. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say to the elder?
Not at the minute. No.
Sounds good. Yep. So he doesn't go off anywhere, but he just starts talking to some other groups, to the next ones that he hasn't spoken to yet. And so he just sort of keep going on. What do you want to do, Martin?
So I think Griff will just sort of bid everyone good evening, really. Arrange with Turgeon to catch up in the morning and hopefully head off to the temple.
Yep. No, that sounds good. Turgeon just says that he's probably going to be up a little bit late, just helping with a lot of the healing and other stuff. Him and Giroux are obviously helping sort of get things back in order, and there's lots of like hurt people and lots of people who are scared, so they're dealing with that sort of stuff. But Turgeon says he'll be good to go in the morning.
Yeah. Then Griff will say to Naomi, look, if you're going to help him, that's fine, but I need you bright and fresh tomorrow.
Yeah.
Back to your duties.
She says, don't worry about me, boss. I'll be good to go. I'm excited to get out of Hommlet again.
Yeah. Oh, and Griff will hand over the scrolls that I keep getting the two muddled up. Byrne gave him.
Yeah.
Have a look at these, and there was a particularly interesting one called Meteor Storm or something like that.
Yeah,
He
she
said,
takes
"Don't
them from
cast it
you.
inside."
Yeah, she kind of looks at the dough cast inside that Burn wrote on it last time. She's like, okay, and she rolls them up and she seems pretty impressed with them. And Ed sort of keeps them with the rest of her stuff. She looks very interested in these ones.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Right, well, I'm off to bed, and Griff will head up to his room, and then I don't know, 10 minutes later, nip out to his second room.
Yep, perfect. That sounds great. Yep. So you go, you do that. You leave your party downstairs. It seems like some of them are heading off, like Bari and that, but it looks like Naomi, Elmo, and Alan are staying up, just drinking for a bit and chatting. Yeah, you head off and then you go to bed. All right. Thankfully the day was pretty insane. But the night is quiet. And you wake up the next morning, bright and early. And yeah, you're feeling somewhat refreshed, I guess. Did you get hurt at all in the last fight, or what are you looking
I
like?
remember the last time we came back to Hommlet, we did get a pile of healing. We paid Turgeon 50 gold pieces for healing, not healing
Mm-hmm.
potions, but healing. So I'm hoping that we're, yeah, all looking back and
Sounds good. I'm
all
fairly
good.
sure everybody's doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Yeah. So you get up and you go downstairs and you're greeted by your party, which for everybody where it's been a while, if you haven't listened to the latest episodes, you have Elmo, Bari, Alan, Naomi, Wanalon, and Turgeon, and later once you guys go down the road, Devik will also be a part of the sort of main group.
Yeah.
So we have a pretty full party here of actual capable different heroes, which is pretty nice. So yeah, you make your way back down. People are just eating breakfast, getting ready, getting their gear together, and it looks like everybody's pretty good to go.
Excellent. Well, Griff will make sure he's got a vegetarian option from Osler because he's definitely not convinced about the meat still. So
No, that
oats.
sounds good. Yeah, he just gives you some nice gruel or some oatmeal or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, you stay away from the mystery meat stew.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys are good to go. I don't know if there's anything you want to do in town before you head off.
I don't think so. We've got 5 flasks of oil, I think, still left from a few sessions ago. My God, that was the middle of October. But along the way, Griff will say to Wanalon, he'll say, "Hey, Wanalon, we were cleaning out some old crap we found in the temple. There was a dodgy old backpack. Someone had stuffed some zombie heads in it. Fucking horrible thing it was. And you said you were looking for something. I found this dagger in there. Is that yours?"
Is this the really nice dagger that
Yeah.
yeah, he's just his eyes brighten up. He's like, yeah, that's the one. That's my dagger.
Ah, excellent. Well, you said you were interested in coming along, and I thought, well, you're doing it for free and all, so I couldn't begrudge you this. As I say, it was pretty filthy. I mean, you owe me a beer for just cleaning all the bloody eyeballs and shit off it, but
He lets out a laugh and he grabs it out of your hands and he seems very thankful just to have it back. He's like, thank you. Oh, I feel a lot better having this in my hands again.
yeah. That's
And
good. And Griff feels he's got an implied contract there that Wanalon's helping for free.
yeah, Wanalon hasn't said too much just yet. It seems like he's still going off the fact that you guys saved his life, so he seems okay with that fact. But who knows? He's a pretty sneaky character. Who knows what sticky fingers he might have. But yeah, he seems pleased enough. He takes up the short sword he bought the day before and just puts it on his back and then replaces it with the new dagger, and is very happy with that. You see it looks like Turgeon is all dressed up in what looks like pretty old armor. It looks like an old chainmail. He's got a mace and shield. You see him kind of just almost a little bit too tight for him. It seems like he's just trying to sort of loosen the straps a little bit on it, kind of fidgets with it quite a bit. You see Alan just goes over and helps him out with it, and then everybody gets on the horses and seems to be ready to go. You guys head out of Hommlet and you start heading up towards the temple. You pass the moat house ruins. And you kind of notice as you're passing by it, you see obviously all the new flags that Sunny Fields has put up of just sort of their big yellow banners. and you see what looks like a lot of scaffolding and other things. They've sort of started to fix up the moathouse quite a bit. It's still very much in the early stages, but you are noticing what looks like a bunch of hooded bodies being burned in a pile. It looks like you see probably about maybe 15 to 20 bodies of just small creatures, and also like sort of humanoid, like human-sized creatures, just sort of thrown into a pile on a big pyre and being burned just out in front of the moat house. And as you pass by them, unless you stop to do anything there, you head towards where you were told the orcs would be, and you go off the road a little bit, just a little bit north of the moat house, and you hear what sounds like just some music being played. And you follow the music, and you see what looks like the old ruins of maybe like some sort of building or tower. You see sort of like this old sort of stone kind of building. It's very small, maybe like I said, maybe an old guard tower or something. But you see one orc is just playing some music like on a lute. You see one just in a hammock reading a book, and the other two are just over this fire just cooking some meat. And when they see you, Devik just waves you over. And tells the others to get ready as they sort of jump up, get their gear, and follow along with you.
You got breakfast on the go there. Nice.
Yeah, he says, do you want any, or do you already eat?
Well, I've sort of had my vegetable breakfast. I think it's probably about time for the meat course. What is it, boar again, or?
No, we got some rabbits here, if you want some. They're a little bit lean, but they'll do.
Well, here today, gone tomorrow, he says as he starts chewing it down.
Oh, god damn it. And yeah, you guys for what meat's left, you guys just eat up, and then you guys sort of just get into line and head off towards the temple. Are you doing your usual route of taking the sort of the makeshift rope across the river again, so you're not seen by Nulp? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds good. Yep. So you guys make your way across that. Ooh, I forgot to do rolls.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, that's classic. That was a close one. All right. You're good. Yeah, so you make it to the temple. What do you want to do, Martin?
I think Griff will say to the others, right, normal protocol, let's just hang back here. We'll keep an eye on the entrance, make sure there's nobody coming or going. And I'll sneak up, make sure there's not a lot of activity on the top floor, and then we'll go from there. How about that?
Sounds good. So are you just doing like a circle check like around the entire building, or what's the plan here? Okay.
Yeah, so he's just gonna have a quick look round, make sure there's nobody sort of coming into or out of the doors. It's not like 20 horses tethered up outside or something like that.
Sounds good. Yeah, do you want to give me a nose check?
Yep. Be useful if I have my character sheet open. There we go. And I can do the reroll, can't I? Because it's a Come on.
Ooh, very good. Okay.
13.
Yeah, so you notice on the roof, just like near the entrance that you usually take, you notice what looks like, just for a quick second before they're gone, you see what looks like some sort of cloaked figure up on the roof.
Ooh. And where do they appear to go?
It looks like they probably, whatever way they were, it looks like they were going, here, I'll actually bring in the close one so it's easier. It looks like they were probably above the entrance you usually enter, and it looks like they were heading north, like away from you.
Okay. And they were on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay, so Griff will say, well, we got some interesting activity on the roof there. Let's go in, but keep an eye upwards. See if anyone, they got to get down, right?
Sounds good.
We'll see if there's a window or something they're going to climb in.
Yeah, and the reason mostly, just to remind you, because it's been so long, probably the reason why it was kind of hard to really make them out at first is just because there's so many different like gargoyles and random spires and all this crazy architecture that's up on the roof and the sides of the walls and stuff, so it's pretty easy for, it's not just a flat roof or just like a classic sort of cathedral roof, so, but yeah, so what's the marching order Martin, because I don't know if you can see them here in the new one down, but you have quite a bigger party now. And
Yep.
also the three orcs, obviously, who are with Devik, are just watching the horses, so they're off of this. But this is your whole party right here that you can see.
Yeah. So Griff will say to the three orcs, "Look, you take the horses and just go back into the woods there. Give yourselves a bit of cover. Don't want to be the subject of any arrows, any unwanted projectiles, as it were." And Griff will probably head up the party.
Okay, sounds good.
I think he's probably going to have Elmo behind him.
Okay.
And he will leave Devik right at the back with Bari, because Bari has a bow, with Alan and Naomi in the middle, with Turgeon, and Wanalon needs to be fairly close to the front because Griff still hasn't sussed him out yet.
So do you want him sort of like behind Elmo, but in front of Turgeon and Naomi?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So he's in full view of a lot of people. I think we trust Devik and
Sounds good. Okay.
Bari. Yep.
Alrighty then. So, 1 second here. All right. So you head towards the entrance, Martin. And not to leave too much of a dramatic pause, I'm just trying to look for a thing real quick here. Where is it? Oh my god, so many pages. So many pages. There we go.
It's a big beast, isn't it?
It really, really is. Okay. Okay. So you walk towards the entrance, and when you get to the door, and your group is directly behind you, your foot goes down like on the first stone right in front of the door, and then you notice what was not there before, but is this circle of runes that immediately turns red, and then explodes outwards with rocks shooting towards you and Elmo, and you two just go flying backwards. I don't believe there's a save for this. This is just kind of a really rough, mean one.
Arcane landmine.
Yep. Okay, yeah, shit, this doesn't have a save. All right. Looks like it just hits. Looks like it was pretty well hidden. How much does it do? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Sorry about this, Martin. This is 11 damage.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Okay, this will be interesting, guys. I learned a lot more about Worlds Without Number, and this will be the interesting part. So you go flying backwards along with Elmo, and you're both going to take 11 damage. Elmo should have been a little bit higher than that hit points wise, so I think he's down to 12. 12 hit points. And then you hear a voice behind you and from up in the sky. And looking back about 30 feet in the air, just above you in the back, you see a woman. She has sort of different robes, different colored robes of blue and gold around her. And she's just floating in the air, and she says, "Oh, you weren't the one I was expecting, but oh, you'll do just fine as well. I'm sure you've been messing with us just as much. Oh, this is just too easy getting you guys to come here."
Yeah, who are you expecting to find? Maybe I know him.
Oh, I was just trying to, well, that lady and her little friends, they've been messing up quite a few things, but let me guess, you've been down here before?
Not really. We met a hill giant who told us little weird goblins or something with him told us to come on in and we might be able to find some employment. You're not looking for that woman with the three dwarves, are you? Is that the one?
Yes. Oh, so you do know her?
Well, no, I don't know her. I mean, I've seen her about. I wonder what the hell they were doing.
And you see her just sort of floating in the air there, and her eyes kind of just she mostly just kind of stares at you and looks over your group, and says, "You kind of look like you already have some employment yourself there." She points to all your very well armed people and everything. Everybody there looks already pretty well established.
Yeah, Romag. We've been told to, Romag or Hearts. Can't really make it out, but do you know him? Her? I mean, it could be her. Hearts.
You want to give me
Hearts.
a convince check, Martin? Because you definitely see in her eyes that she recognizes Romag when you say his name.
Oh, that's a 9.
9. That's very good. Very good one. She stays where she is, and she says, "How'd you hear about Romag?"
Well, funnily enough, we were asking around the trading post in Hommlet, and nobody said anything. Nobody, just for work and that sort of thing. I mean, the town was offering some crap money, but we sort of thought it could probably do better. No one really was able to offer anything of any interest, and I found a note slipped under my door in the inn there that I was staying in. It didn't say much, just said go to Temple, ask Romag, good money. Here we are.
She looks you over. You could tell like in her face there's a little bit of still kind of doubt at this. She says, "I haven't heard anybody trying to recruit that way, but there's a lot going on. I don't know everything that goes on around here." But
Anyway, my name's and he's struggling for a name there. He probably shouldn't use Griff. Angus. My name's Angus. Sharpblade. Angus Sharpblade.
Angus Sharpblade.
What may I ask is who have I got the pleasure of meeting here?
She says you don't need to know my name just yet. I rather keep that to myself since I still don't know who you are. And I gotta be honest with you, you don't look all that different than other people who come around here looking to loot and pillage and take from us. And I don't totally believe your story, Angus, if that is really your name.
I'm gonna have a word with this Romag because I'm not happy about this. Whatever the hell that was on that step there. I mean, look, I really messed up my boots.
She says, she looks at your entire group and she says, "Regardless, Angus, this is an unfortunate day for you because, well, we've had a bit too many problems with those like you coming down here, and, well, I can't take the risk both for Romag and Harch, so I do apologize, but this will be the end of you."
Gonna write a strongly worded letter to my union representative. We were sent here to do some work, and you're telling me I can't come in this temple.
I love that. So while you're saying that, Bart, like imagine like you're just looking at her like pointing at it, and you're saying this really like just really really harshly, and you start to see around you the earth is starting to shake and move, and you are seeing just below you. You are seeing 3 creatures. There we go. I don't know if you can see these.
Oh yes, yep.
And you are seeing 3 north of you appear out of the ground. And these look like small sort of rock creatures, probably about 4 feet tall. They look, I would say they probably look a bit like, I don't know, maybe rocky worms and with weird sort of arm-like appendages. And they start moving closer towards you around your group. And while she stays up in the air about 30 feet up. So we'll go into initiative here. What'd you want to say?
Yeah, there's an obvious question here. So, did the runes disappear when we trod on them? Are they kind of gone?
Yeah, like you couldn't see the runes, and then once you stepped on it, you just noticed like a bright red light come off of it. It seemed like they're really pretty hidden well under like the rubble and dust.
Yeah.
It looks like it wasn't just placed down, but it looks like it was actively hidden as well.
Yeah. So does Griff think that they've kind of gone now, as in they're all used up, or is it probably still, or no idea?
I would say, you know what, I'm gonna say it's hard to tell. But I would say from Griff's knowledge of this sort of stuff, it's probably used up. In your own experiences with runes in the past as a band and other stuff, you might have come across these kinds of traps with dealing with brigand wizards and that sort of thing. You're fairly sure that one's gone, but it would be hard to know if there's others that might have been placed down as well.
Yeah. And how close to the door was this thing?
It was like right on it. It was like right there, like right in front of the door. But the rest of the area that you guys trod on seemed to not have any.
Griff looks at her and go, all right, all right. I know. Okay, these are our escorts, right? They're gonna show us to Romag. Have I got this right?
Yeah. She lets out a little bit of a chuckle and says, "Oh, you." You're probably just, you know what? Even if you were telling the truth, you're probably a little bit too stupid for Omag anyway. No, this is the end of you, Angus.
Oh, don't call me stupid.
Give you initiative, Bard. It was a good try, but you seem a little bit too much of a risk. You you brought quite a powerful looking party here. Hell yeah! All right. I believe. Let's see. Okay, you guys are going first. And we don't need to do any sort of like battle mat tactics or anything like that. I'm more just putting these down so that you have an easy visual, and I'll start taking them off as they die and that sort of thing. But yeah, so you have 3 of those rock creatures on the ground in front of you, or sorry, just north of you and south of you, and they are moving in on the party, and she's up 30 feet in the air.
Yep. So Griff will, say, right, Barry, you know what to do. Take her out, and just sort of suggest just to everybody else to get stuck in with some of these rock creatures.
Okay, sounds good.
What's keeping Naomi somewhere in the middle?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. So Naomi's going to stay in the middle. Turton's going to stay in the middle. And so, do you want Elmo to fight melee?
Yeah.
Okay. So just Barry firing off.
Yeah. The theory is we only need to distract her and keep her busy while we get rid of these others.
Sounds good. And I do believe Naomi also has a magic missile.
Cool.
Just so you know what she has. She also has a lightning bolt. Just so you know that because there's a lot of people here. And Turgeon does also have healing abilities, which he'll help out for this. But all right. So Devik, Alan, Elmo will fight melee, and Bar will fire off. So are you also firing off at her as well, Martin, or are you gonna fight the creatures as well?
Yeah. No, I think Griff will fire off an arrow.
Okay.
I need to make sure she can't cast.
All right, well, Barry actually hits for once.
Wow.
Oh, of course, he only does 2 damage, but that's Barry for you. Even though he has done a lot, he's failed so many times in our games.
I know. What do we get there? Ooh, 20. 5 damage.
Nice. Another good hit damage. Yeah, so you guys do hit her, and you do see she sort of lets out some gasps of pain as the bolt and arrow hits her. Did you want the others to sort of stay in a sort of closed formation, or do you want Elmo and Alan and them to sort of move out and meet the creatures like further away from Naomi and Turgeon?
So they seem to have kind of surrounded us, so I think we're going to stay in the kind of on those temple steps in the vicinity of the door, so that if we need to, we can try and book it through the door and escape that way.
Sounds good to me. All right. So we'll just say that they'll just wait their turns for them to get closer, then they'll attack as they get a little bit closer. All right, so on their turns, we'll just move them first as they move closer there. And we'll move Barry back and Alan this way. Also, and Wanalon. Wanalon, what do you have? Do you have...
He has a dagger +2 now.
He has a dagger, yeah, he does have a dagger +2. I just had +2 that afterwards. All right, cool. So, I have to get refamiliarized with all this stuff. There's so many guys. All right, so I'll have Elmo attack first against one guy. Oh my god, Elmo's really fucking hurt from that. You must be pretty hurt too, huh?
Yeah, 17 hit points left.
Did you want Naomi to heal you up with a scroll or anything?
I think, yeah, that would be good. Well, in fact, we've got lots of potions, so let's go for a potion of healing for Griff and one for El. Oh, is that going to be an action?
That's going to be an action, yeah.
Yeah, if we can get Turgeon and Naomi to heal us with some sort of healing spell, that'll be good.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Okay. Well, Elmo nearly kills one of these elementals with one hit as he just sort of crushes through a bunch of it with his giant axe.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something there, Martin?
No, I was just trying to work out how many hit points they had. So Well, a fair amount.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do have a fair amount. Okay, and then Alan with the sword hits another one. Okay.
Ooh.
We can turn that into a hit if you want, though, Martin.
I think so. He's got some really good damage on that, so...
Yeah, he's also almost gonna
Yeah.
kill one. Actually, I'm going to keep track of these guys. Just gonna 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. All right. Yeah. So he almost kills one. Devik's gonna go for the same one that Alan just attacked with his big heavy spear.
Yep.
Devik's wielding a 2-hand spear. Oh my God, Devik. All right. Well, he's definitely gonna fucking kill this guy. Yeah. So only does 3 damage, but they didn't need much more. Alan and Devik just immediately crush and crumble this guy right there. Naomi is going to use up one of her Cure Light Wound Scrolls. So that is 1d6 plus 1 for you, Martin. And also one thing I learned is that you do still take, I believe, a system strain from that, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. That sounds good.
I could be wrong on that, but I do. It's been so long since I learned the rules, and then it's been so long since we played, I forgot them again. But I'm fairly sure whenever you get any kind of healing, there is a level system strain, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And do you want? I guess Turgeon. Turgeon also has his own spells because he's a cleric. He's just gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on Elmo. Same thing. 1d6 plus 1.
Oh, so that was 5 for Griff, was it? Sorry.
Yeah, 5 for Griff, sorry, yeah, and 3 for Elmo.
Never mind. So Elmo's more likely to die than Griff, so...
I mean, Elmo's got 15 hit points, and he's okay.
Yeah.
He can also he can make sure a hit doesn't actually hit him if another one goes for him. All right. Who else needs to go? So Wanalon hasn't gone yet. Wanalon will join Elmo and attack the one that was hitting him. I'll just add +2 to this on both. God, there's so many characters. Okay, well, he's gonna hit anyway, and he's gonna do enough to kill that other one that Elmo hit. So that's 2 dead already. Bari's one. Everybody's gone, I think, right? You've gone. So
I think so. Yeah.
Now it's their turn. Okay, so 1 is gonna go for Wanalon. 1's gonna go for Elmo. So this one is the one on Wanalon.
Ooh, that's gotta be a miss.
It's going to be a miss, but I think he might hit Wanalon with the shock because Wanalon's AC is 13.
Ooh.
So Wanalon is going to take only 2 damage, so he's got 17 hit points left. Okay. And the one on Elmo, I'm assuming this one will probably miss because Elmo is ridiculous. Oh, maybe not. Never mind.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh, big hit on Elmo too. Holy shit. All right. He's going to take another 6 damage. So that's 9 hit points left on Elmo. And then the other 2 are going to go for Devik. So I'll just do 2 attacks on Devik. Okay, nice. I think Devik's going to be okay. Let's see here. Yeah, that's 2 misses. What's your AC? Oh, yeah, but he does take the shock damage, though. So he's going to take... He's down to 10 hit points. He's still doing okay. All right. And now it's Dahlia. And you see her wave her arms around. And you see stone and rocks come from the earth beneath her and rise up and start floating around her. And you sort of see them act almost as shields. And then you see her... move her hand towards one of the spires on the temple, and you see it crack off, and she shoots it towards you. So I believe that is going to be, I think I did the calculation earlier. Oh shit, yeah, right, all right. She is a pretty good sorcerer. But does 19 hit though?
I think it does. Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, hang on. Yeah, 18. Yes.
All right, this is gonna hurt, Marn. I do apologize. Oh my god, 13 damage.
Oh shit. He's still alive.
Perfect. All right, yeah. So you just you see this massive spire as this like you see a big shadow appear like above you, and the spire comes down and just shatters on you and just destroys a bunch of the stairs around you. And that'll be her turn. And it's back to you guys.
Griff's not very happy about this. Not very happy at all. Griff says to Naomi, "Oi, you still got that lightning bolt? You can sort this one out with."
She says, "Yeah, I can do that."
Yeah, you give that a go.
Okay.
Griff's gonna shoot her. It might not be tactically the best thing to do, but he's not happy about that.
No, so I mean that makes sense to me. She just hit you with a fucking part of a building, so
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing, just one thing I'll tell you, not to say not do this, just so you keep this in mind, because there's so much stuff going on that's hard to keep track of it. The thing about lightning bolt is that as she gets more powerful, like as she levels up, you do a d6 damage per level of the caster. So I mean, it's totally fair if you want to do that now, but it is only a d6 versus later on when it could be 2 or 3d6. She does have magic missile, which is the same all the time. So, but it's up to you though if you want. I don't want to.
Magic missile's good. Let's do that one.
Cool.
That makes more sense.
There's just so much to keep track of. I just want to make sure you're aware of that. All right, magic missile does 1d6 plus 1 too. Anyway, so yeah, she immediately rips out the magic missile scroll, and you see her basically just roll it up, and it turns into a blue kind of dart, and then she fires it off towards the lady in the sky, and it's going to do 2 damage. Oh my god. Oh, that's not good. All right. And you're firing off at her as well?
Yeah, Griff, before he does that, we'll shout, how are we doing with the interview? Are we doing all right?
And you see her sort of gritting her teeth as she is bleeding a little bit more now from the three different hits she's taken. Oh my god. Yeah. So you say that as you fire off a giant hit, as you do 9 damage. She is starting to turn into a pincushion here with the different bolts and arrows going through her. She's not looking too good, but she is still going, unfortunately. But she is looking very hurt. You are seeing blood kind of dribbling off of her onto the ground below. All right, and then now it's going to be Bari's going to fire off at him.
Can he make it 2 in a row? Probably not.
Oh,
no.
God. I mean, it depends on how much of a bonus he gets. She doesn't have just under what he needed to.
Oh, shit.
Just under. What are his abilities?
Damage that would have been.
No, he doesn't have anything that helps him too much with that. Unfortunate, Bari, but oh well. Who's next? All right. Is that everybody who can fire off? Yeah. So Elmo and Wallon are going to attack the same one again. So Elmo's going to go first. We'll see if he can get rid of this guy. Ooh, another big hit. How much damage? Oh my god, just 1 under again from what he needs. And then Wallon is going to attack the same one that Elmo attacked. Oh wait, no, I'm going to use his dagger. Whoops. I'm just going to use that same attack roll, but
yeah,
because he did hit. There's a +2. Let's see here. So he did, okay, 4 damage. Well, it's enough to kill a thing anyway, so regardless of what he did there, it was a hit. Cool. So both, again, Elmo and Wallon shatter that one, and then it is back to, who's left there? Devik and Alan there. Perfect. All right, so Alan goes for 1. Oh my god, Alan. He can't turn that one into a hit, unfortunately, because I used it. But what does he do on shock? Oh, right. It doesn't inflict 5 shock damage, though, so he still fucks that dude up pretty good. And then Devik. Devik uses his heavy spear on the guy that he attacked. Oh, man. Not enough to kill it, but that was some good damage. That thing is pretty hurt, but it's still going strong. This one's gone. That one's gone. That one's gone. How many are left there? Just 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Griff, 3 are left. Yeah, go ahead.
Griff will shout out to Turgeon and say, I could do with a bit of a pick-me-up here.
Yep. Turgeon moves over towards you, and he will slap you with the Cure Wounds. So you'll just get a d6 plus 1. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. All right. Enjoy your 2 hit points there, Martin, and your system strain. Okay. God damn it. This is rough. All right. You're still doing pretty good though. You guys have basically crumbled a bunch of these elementals here. All right. these two who are on Devik are going to keep attacking Devik, so I'll just do those two guys first. I think it's everybody on your side is already gone now, so I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So one hits, and then the other, I believe, misses. Let's see here. Devik's 15 AC. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, Devik's down to 1 hit point.
Oh no. Oh god.
Well, he might be dead. He's looking really hurt. He's just been battered over and over again as these creatures have come around and just started hitting him with their rocky arms and tentacles, and just really, you're hearing bones breaking, and you're seeing him bruised up, and blood starts just pouring out of him. It's not looking too good for him. And the other one's going to go for Wanalon. The one who's left on that side. Oh my god. Oh, PT did just give 300
thank you, PT.
bits. Thank you, PT. So that can be either 200 bits for a full heal or 3 free rerolls. But thank you very much, PT, there. Okay, so he hit, but he only does 1 damage to Wanalon, so Wanalon's honestly looking okay. Wanalon's still at 16 hit points, so he's actually doing better than
anyone else.
Elmo. Yeah, than anybody else. He's doing okay. All right. Now it is her turn. And she. Let's do it again. It's fun, right? Devik's looking really hurt. You're also looking really hurt too, aren't you, though? Ooh, who should I go for? Who would she see as the best target to get rid of here? You know what? We're gonna go with Devik just because he's looking even more hurt than you. And you see her pick up what looks like the rocky body parts of one of the elementals that's gone down, and just brings it up and throws it towards Devik. So I'll do another attack against Devik here. And I'm fairly sure if this hits, I don't think he can survive anyway. That is going to hit, and we'll just do the damages for fun here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Devik had 1 hit point left, and he's taking 11 damage. So unfortunately for poor Devik, you see these rocks flying, and they just go right through his chest, completely compressing his cavity, and he just goes flying against the ground, and he is just dead immediately. So that's going to be... it's going to be a fun conversation when you go back to the other orcs, but Devik is unfortunately gone. And yeah, it's back to you guys.
Griff is not really unhappy about it. Oi, you're not supposed to. He's gonna. I had to pay him. So he's gonna get a nice special arrow +1. He doesn't have many left anymore. And, and fire it in a general direction.
Okay, sounds good. And Bari will help you out as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit the normal thing and add the +1 after.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's what I usually do. Ooh, good hit. Okay, so 6 damage total. Nice. That is a solid hit. She is still going, but she is losing blood rapidly here. All right. And then yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to be. Can I go for a reroll on the damage? Because I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so that's one reroll taken. And PT just gave you 300 more bits, so thank you, PT.
So that's 1d8 +2 +1, so that's got to be better than...
Oh, there you go. 11. Yes. Okay, that's a real good hit. You get her like I would say this bolt like goes like right into like the side of her neck, and you see her sort of just grab at it. She's still alive, but you see her almost like cough up some blood as this is a major hit against her. She is not looking good at all from that. Okay, and then Bari's gonna see if he can try and finish the job on her. Ooh, big hit. Bari, how much damage? All right, it's only 3 damage.
I think we might have to do another reroll.
Want to do another reroll? All right, I'll do D10 +1.
Come on.
Ooh. Oh my God. Okay. You see her just go down, flying onto the ground as this last bolt just hits her right in the chest, and she slams onto the ground. and the 3 elementals that were on you all crumble into just piles of stone. It looks like she's still breathing, but it's almost like rapid breathing, like she's going into shock. And Naomi looks to you as to what to do next.
Yeah, I think so. She might be useful for information.
And you hear Turgeon say, "You better tie her up. She might be able to cast spells if."
Yeah. I'll stick something in her mouth as well. And Griff looks at he grabs some dirty handkerchief. I think, yeah, that'll do.
Sounds good. Yeah, Elmo takes that out of your hands, and he runs over with Naomi and we'll say Alan as well. And they go over as they're tying her up and just gagging her. Naomi heals up her wounds somewhat, just enough to make sure that she isn't going to die. But she is obviously in a critical state here. And you see her just sort of like, honestly, too hurt to really respond all that much. It looks like she's very much like subdued.
So, yeah, Griff's gonna. What's your name?
To her?
Yeah.
She goes,
Oh, yeah. So he takes the handkerchief out, ready to put it back in.
Yeah, she just spits out some blood on the ground. She says, I told you, it's Dahlia.
You didn't tell me that, but... Right. And who are you working for?
She says, I work for the temple. I deal with you people who keep coming through here.
Well, I told you we were here to get a job.
I didn't believe you. Look, you're obviously adventurers, and you're obviously adventurers.
Well,
coming to steal more from us.
Is another man's mercenary, isn't it? I just figured that the rewards would be better, a bit less risky, but I mean, it's not looking so like it was right there, is it?
And she again sort of just cuts up some more blood. She says, "You're really here looking for work?"
What do you think?
I already told you what I think.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. You people. I mean. And it just goes off on one for about 5 minutes about how difficult it is to get work. You try and get a job, and people tell you they're desperate for good people, and
in this gig economy,
they pay you crap money, and he's just basically trying to do a 1d6 worth of mental torture through boredom damage. So well, what am I supposed to do with you now?
She says, I don't know, kill me, I guess, because it's not like I can go back to them anyway. If I get captured like this, they're probably going to kill me if they find out all the same.
Well, who would you go back to? You just told me you work for the temple. I mean, who is the temple? You work for the building, do you? I mean, who in the building? You must work for somebody.
She says, I work for some of the... Well, I work generally for the different temples inside, the different factions. Right now, the Earth Temple has been employing me the most for their work, dealing with different people coming through here, slaughtering them, and putting up their bodies so that people can see what happens when you come through here.
Right, I see. So is this Romag, or is that someone else? Who's this Earth Temple guy you're working for?
Yeah, Romag's the one in charge there. He's
right. Okay.
Though I didn't really deal with him, I mostly dealt with his crony.
Right, okay. So, I mean, it would have been easier just to let us in, wouldn't it? All this palaver. So who else have you worked for? I mean, is there like an air temple there? You said Earth, air? There must be a fire and a water. Who are they?
Yeah. She says, yeah, there's all 4 of them are there as well. Yeah, and I've done different jobs for them depending on who's deciding to pay the most. I've, sometimes... And you see her kind of cut herself off before she finishes that sentence.
You work for money then, do you, like me?
Oh, money, yeah, and they tend to pay better than most, so yeah.
Well, as I said, I'm after some names. So, how much would some names cost me?
She says, "Will you let me go?"
Well, yeah. I mean, I could give you some money, then kill you, but that would be a bit daft. I might as well kill you if I'm going to do that.
She chuckles and kind of goes like, "All right,
I'll bury you with it if you want."
That's a fair point." She says, "Yeah, I can give you some names. I don't necessarily deal with the leaders themselves, but I definitely dealt with some of the higher command in those different groups. That might be of some use to you."
Well, Griff
Uh,
pulls out his bit of manky parchment.
Sounds good. Um, so just because I definitely don't have the names of everybody at the top of my head, and I don't want to spend forever looking through this book, I will say this though, Martin. I'll say she gives you a name of either like some higher level, maybe not even necessarily the second in command. It's kind of unclear like how the
Yeah.
hierarchy works, but we'll say that she gives you a name for each temple. And I'll either look through or come up with names for you
Yeah.
for next
Yeah.
session and for everybody watching. But you get basically like a lieutenant or like somebody, a priest, that's definitely higher up and has some dealings and some of the movers and shakers within the temple. So you kind of have one for each temple basically.
I heard rumor on the grapevine there that these temples don't get on with each other, or factions. So I mean, aren't you kind of a bit of a persona non grata in some quarters? You get caught by the air guys for doing the earthwork, or your fire people don't like you working with the water people. I mean, how do you get round that?
She says, "Well, I tend to not let anybody live long enough to know that I've done that sort of thing. I work alone with myself and she sort of looks over at the piles of rocks and my little works here. And I haven't been really found out yet that I've been doing any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, it
Ah,
happens, but
okay. Have you got any like notes or letters on you from any of these places? Any of these
no, I
people?
usually just try not to keep
Uh,
any evidence or anything like that. Um,
Thought you were gonna say that. Any symbols? You got a fire symbol, an earth one, or something?
she looks down like she has like a little pouch on her side there, and she sort of says like, yeah, and there I have a necklace for each one of them.
Excellent. That'll be mine. Thank you. You're not be needing those again. You're not coming back round here, are you?
Yeah, she glares at you as you sort of just open up the pouch and take out the different stuff. You also notice there's a few other little sacks of coin there as well in the pouch with the necklaces.
Yeah. Well, Griff said he was going to give us some money, and he's not. He's a man of his
Yeah,
word.
he takes it out and then's like, "Here, I told you to give you money. I didn't say I didn't say where the money was
Lord.
coming from."
Oh, these might come in useful, he says. But yeah, thank you for that. Um, how about we ship you up and put you on a boat north out of Nob?
She says, "Well, I'm not exactly in a position to negotiate here, so if that's the
No, you
terms for me
aren't.
getting to live, sure."
I think so. Griff's having second thoughts about this, but what do you reckon, Elmo? We trust this one.
Elmo says, I think we should just kill her like the rest of them, but you're the boss, not me. But she's lucky to still be alive right now and breathing, so.
Yeah.
But I don't think she
Look,
can
be shame.
really.
Nah, it'd be a shame to waste that healing, wouldn't it? So, I'll tell you what. Why don't we and Griff beckons to the orc people in the woods.
Yeah, and they come over. You see them kind of notice the body of Devik, and they look over towards the woman. What do you want to do?
Um, there's been a bit of an accident here. The temple's kind of, well, you can see the rocks. It's ugly business. Ugly business. And he says to the most senior of these three, if he can work out who that is,
Yeah,
look, is 50 gold coins if you could arrange for Devik's family to have that. I'll be most grateful.
yep. They just sort of nod their
Um,
head at you and take the money.
I don't suppose you could do me another favour for another little bit of gold. This I don't know how to refer to her really. Person needs to be sent on a boat out of Nolb. So would you mind you three going up to Nolb and carrying her away, getting her on a boat
Yeah,
somewhere far up north?
they nod their heads and they say, "Yeah, we can take her. Who is she? We heard some explosions going off earlier. Is she some sort of wizard or something?"
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, and he just pops the handkerchief back in. Don't take that out, and I wouldn't untie her if I was you either. I would. When you get up to Nob, I would say that she's a famous enchantress, and you're looking to put her on a boat so that yeah, someone can claim a bounty, or I don't know, something like that. Anyway. Make it sound like she's valuable, but definitely pass on the message. Don't take that handkerchief out.
Yeah,
Don't untie her.
they look at each other and sort of shrug and go, yeah, I think we can do that. Um,
Perfect.
one of them looks over. They sort of pick her up and start walking off with her. The one stops and says, Devik, did she do that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the part of the roof fell down. I don't know. I don't think so.
He just gives you a quick nod and follows the other ones. And then it stops again and sort of asks, can you make sure to wrap up his body for us? We'll come
Oh
back for
yeah,
it
yeah,
after.
no, absolutely. We'll pop him just in. We'll make sure he's all together, and we'll pop him just inside the temple there. Nothing bad normally happens in there, but we'll pop him under a table where he'll be nice and safe.
They say thanks and they go off with her, just dragging her along into the distance.
Cool.
Good job, Martin. That was
Hopefully, we don't see her again.
yeah. Yeah, the elementalists are no joke.
No. Griff says to the rest of the pot, right? Look, we didn't even get in there this time, and it was a bit rough, wasn't it? But let's just sit down, have a little bite to eat, couple of rations, and see if we can't get some of Jeru's poultices on the go. No, we got Naomi and Turgeon here. I'm sure we'll be fine and as right as rain as soon as you can. Yeah,
Sounds
chuck a
good.
rock.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you guys are just gonna go off a little bit, so you're not like right in the middle here. I'm assuming of like are you going for like the woods a little bit, so you have a
Do you
little
know?
bit of cover,
Do you
or are
know
you?
what?
What's up?
Yeah, I think we should establish a little base in that little building with a cellar in the north.
Yeah, not a bad idea at all.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and you have a decent sized party. It's gonna be pretty cramped in there with this party size, but you guys can we'll go to the other map. Though
Cool.
with the same people, you guys can clear it out a little bit, just the bottom
Yeah.
parts. And you are able to set up a small little camp here. Nothing too fancy. But it does the job if you guys just need to chill out for a bit. And we'll just get rid of these guys, and I'll grab the party. Second.
So we have some names.
Yeah, exactly. All right, there we go. So yeah, you have some names there. Like I said, we'll fold those out once I look through the book because
Yeah.
there's so many names in the book. But yeah, so you have some more ideas of who's running stuff around here. And you guys are able to get yourselves a little bit healed up. We'll say. Let's see here. We got who's really hurt. Elmo's really hurt.
Yeah.
So Naomi can use her healing touch. Oh, wait a minute. How does it work again? It's command effort for the scene is an instant action. Heal d6 damage plus your heal skill to a touch allies. Okay, cool. So what is your heal skill? Naomi 1. Okay. D6 plus 1. How much effort do you have?
Nice.
Oh man, there's so much stuff to get back into here, but that was
Yeah.
pretty good. Okay, Elmo, you are at 18 out of 24 hit points. Who else is hurt here? Marn, how are you looking?
Pretty bad. 11 out of 28.
11 out of 28. All right. Yep, so she'll hit you as well.
Take another strain.
So you take 10 healing.
Nice. It's back up to 21, which is pretty good.
Do you want her to do another one to you?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I have to say, I thought 10 system strain was really high and you'd never get there, but he's now on 6. So
Yeah, I know it can go pretty fast. And then you
Yeah.
take another 10 hit points there. We'll see here.
Good.
Who else needs? Oh,
Back up
Devik.
to full.
Devik, you're dead. So goodbye, Devik.
Mm.
Turgeon's fine. Wanalon is fine. He's only taking 3 damage. Naomi's
Yeah.
fine, and Alan, I think you didn't take any hits, so you're good. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everybody. Elmo's not fully topped off, but
Yeah.
Actually, I think Turgeon will do a quick spell on him. Just give him another D6 plus 1. Okay, there you go. Now he is topped up. And another system strain. Yeah, the other thing too with some system strain is that there's basically no way outside of extremely special occasions where they can get their system strain faster, to get back faster than once per day. Outside of like a few things, so it's also like a pretty tough resource, but it's a really good mechanic. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys just sort of chill out. We'll say that was a few scenes just because Naomi had to use different efforts. I can't remember how much effort she has off the top of my head. But yeah, so so you guys are good. You're feeling a lot better. It's still pretty good. I would say it takes you about half a day to get here. Yeah. Oh, right, and I should do a little roll. Ooh, another little roll. All right, you're good. Yeah. So you guys get healed up, and you're good to go.
So I think we'll go back to the temple and back to the same door we were on originally.
Yeah, and you step on it, another rune goes off and kills you. No, you're all good for now.
I was going to say, I think one of the things, we're quite close to the trees near that little sort of celery bit that we were in. So I think Griff is going to just, with his handy axe, hack off a branch, probably strip it of leaves because he looks a bit stupid with a branch hanging off it. And he's going to studiously tap the ground in front of him. It's probably more of a 6.5 foot branch rather than a 10-foot pole, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, so you sort of just shave that off while everybody's getting healed up, and you guys are just chilling out for a little bit there after the big fight. And you're just sort of tapping each one. And it looks like this entrance is clear of any more of these runes.
Yeah. He's a little bit suspicious, actually. So I think what he's going to do is actually tie some meat rations to the end of it and tap it just in case it's sort of not sensitive to wood, but it's looking for some sort of animal type
for
stuff,
food or organic material. Yeah. No, that sounds good. You check the area again, just make sure. But it seems clear.
Yeah. Well, with some degree of trepidation, Griff will, right, I think this is all right then, and sort of gingerly treads on each of the stones and opens the door carefully.
Yeah, you make your way in, and you are greeted by the familiar sight of this entrance here, and the hallway ahead, but it looks clear so far.
And I guess very quickly we'll just make sure Devik is tidied up and...
you get him all wrapped up and all that and ready for whatever they do with their dead.
Probably roast them or something, but very keen on eating meat.
Yeah, oh God.
Osler would probably have him anyway. So
that's the real mystery meat. Yeah, that's also goes from frugal to completely to Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Well, I suppose we better head on in. And Griff starts making a move, looking out carefully. Obviously, be silly to get caught twice by the same sort of thing. So
yeah. No, sounds good. And just to remind you, so you're aware, you have 400 bits left. Just so you're aware that's either 2 full heals or 4 rerolls.
That's good.
All right. Perfect. So you just make your way up. Are you going anywhere in particular? Are you just going to the same place as usual, or are you exploring elsewhere?
Yeah, I think same place as normal. There's no point in kicking over any other rocks, I think. Not just yet, so...
Works for me. Yep, so you head down to the first level there.
Looking out carefully for anything that might be different as well.
Sounds good. And just of course to keep things simple, obviously your party's there with you in their thing, and you're at the head there. I'm not gonna put them down just to keep things somewhat clear here. But yeah, so you are back down in the first level in the left side entrance that you usually go down. Where do you want to go, Martin?
Griff turns to Turgeon and says, "So you're good with the undead, aren't you? Skeletons and zombies and that sort of stuff."
He says, well, a lot of my studies have dealt more with the healing and curing diseases and that sort of thing, but if they are just skeletons or lower
Yeah,
undead, then I should be able to deal at least with a good amount of them.
that's good. Well, shall we have a pop at that then? Oh, I'm keen to get them out of the way.
Yes, I would, and I would be keen to not have to be down here much longer. If I'm being honest with you, I'm
No, no, fair enough.
not really built for this kind of work. But yeah, so you it's over. I'll do a few rolls
Yeah.
here.
Ooh,
You can keep moving up though. It's over at
yeah. 125, isn't it?
yeah. Okay, yep. So you make your way. You do hear sounds here and there coming up from the north part of the temple. You guys kind of stop here and there as you see kind of patrols go around a little bit more. It seems like
Okay.
there's a little bit more activity going on in the temple than there used to be before the attack. But you're able to sort of bypass them pretty easily. They don't seem to notice you. And then you make your way into that room with all the bones. And so your group makes it there. And when you make it in, what do you want to do here, Martin?
How does this work, Turgeon? I've never seen anyone do this before, but I mean, do you want to go ahead and wave your hands and I don't know, hold out a cross or something? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so he says we might need to activate them so I can sort of focus on which ones are there.
Right.
And so he sort of goes side by side with you. He says, like, I'm not really comfortable going in just alone, but if
Oh,
you
no,
and
no, that's fine.
Elmo
We'll
there.
yep. Well, we can all go in, but I just want to make sure that you need to be, if you need to be in the front, you can be in the front. If you need to be in the middle, you can be in the middle. You tell me what you need to do, and we'll make sure it happens.
Yeah, he says you and Elmo can go right in front of me, and the rest of them can go behind me, and I should
Right.
be able to at least deal with a good amount of them. So
Excellent.
um, we'll just roll initiative here now, Martin, just for the sake of it. There won't be a surprise round on you guys or anything like that, but.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yee.
sounds good. So you guys go down into that hallway there, and then on both sides, like before, different bones start to come together. In fact, it's even more. It looks like there's even some more fresh bones here as well. Like there's some
Ooh.
fresh skeletons that have been thrown out here. Some still have meat on them, that sort of thing. But they kind of come together, knit themselves together in different sort of different groups. You see some like ogre bodies, dwarf bodies, human bodies, and you see Turgeon's kind of shaking a little bit as they start coming closer towards you. I say there's probably 8 on one side. And 6 on the other side on the right, 8 on the left. And as they're closing in, Turgeon starts chanting out words. He holds out the holy symbol of St. Cuthbert, starts sort of swinging it around left and right like a pendulum, and he lets out a final incantation, and he just shoots off about maybe he shoots off like a sort of almost a not necessarily a shockwave, but almost what feels like a force of like pressure that comes off of him.
Hmm.
And you see just about, I would say, 4 on one side and 3 on the other just shatter completely from that explosion. And he says, I need some more time to do another one of those. I don't have many of those in
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. No, that's good show. Good show. Oh, you have to teach me how to do that.
He says, years of practice. And you can already hear like in his voice, there's a bit more of a raspiness and like heavy
Yeah.
breathing. It seems to be taking a lot out of him to do this. He says, it's only because they're so weak already as it is. Yeah, we'll just go into the combat here itself. So that means, so I think that is 2. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure it is right. I think 2 on one side, if I have that correct, and how many did I say it was? I said 14, and he killed 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll say
Yeah.
3 on the left, 4 on the right.
Sounds good.
And I'm just going to find the stat block here. Oh, I can just do that. There we go.
Griff starts to get his bow out and then thinks, hang on a minute, if I shoot an arrow at this thing, there's a good chance it's going to go right through. So he sort of slowly puts it away and hoping no one notices and then grabs his axe.
All right, that's this side, and yeah. At least you guys are in a much better place to deal with this than last time.
Oh, there's only half left now, so we're good already.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, you have 3 on that side. Sorry, here, Marn. Let me just do
Yeah,
something
that's all
really
good.
quick. Actually, it's fine. Yeah. So you just have what do you guys want to do? What do you want to do first, Martin? You have 3 on the left and 4 on
Um,
the right.
yeah, so I think we're just gonna try and beat them off as they come towards us, irrespective of whether they're left or right. So it'll be more the ones in the front on the left and the right.
Perfect. All right. So Alan sort of moves up as well with you guys. There's enough space for Alan to be there as well. So Alan, Elmo, and you are in the front. And Bari, Naomi, and Wanlon are in the back. All right. So Bari will fire off a shot. How'd you do actually there? You hit. Nice.
13.
So
Cool.
you put one down. We'll say that you're handling one of the ones on the left. So there's only 2 guys on the left there. Who are left. Bar is going to try and hit ones on the left there as well, just trying to get rid of that one side, so you guys only deal with one side there. I don't think it's going to hit, though. You're welcome to try and do a reroll if you want, Martin. If he does a reroll for like the to hit, it's also going to just reroll the damage as well.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
going to.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes more sense. I was going to say I wouldn't for 2
Yeah,
damage.
I'll let you reroll just damage by itself too, because you're still using up a resource. But oh my god, okay,
Yeah.
Bari, good job. Did worse this time. Okay. So I'm assuming you're not going to want him to redo that. But okay.
No, and how many bits is it for a full heal? Just in case.
200.
200. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you got 1 reroll, 1 full heal. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly. All right. Elmo is going to attack one that's moving up on them, so he's just going to swing out. He's seeing guys on the right. He's holding that flank while you hold the other one. Okay, kills a dude as well. So there's 3 on the right, 2 on the left. And then Alan's going to attack one that's on your side as well. Okay, Alan's also going to hit. And he's going to kill one as well. So that's another one dead. So that's just 1 left on the left and 3 left on the right. That's all those guys who've gone. You notice Wanalon's not attacking, but you see the door you guys came through. You see him just sort of bent over it at like right underneath like the door jamb. He looks like he's putting down some sort of like bear trap and throwing down some nails and other things. He doesn't seem to like hide it from you guys that he's doing. Yeah. He's just making sure that like if anything comes up from behind you, you guys can easily jump over it. You can see it. But if anything comes running around the side there, it might trigger it. So he just does that for his turn. And Turgeon's just sort of continuing his incantation to try and get his second turn undead going. I'm mostly doing a cinematic thing for Turgeon because I don't think there's really rules for turning undead. There might be, but I looked through. I looked at the index. I couldn't find things. I was like, fuck it. This is just gonna be like a one-time thing pretty much with him anyway. So we'll just do it more cinematically for these weak ass losers. Okay, that's Elmo, Bari, Alan, and Naomi. Do you want her to do anything at all, or just sort of stay in the back?
Yeah, I think just stay in the back. It'll be a shame to waste something on hopefully an easy encounter. So
yeah, I mean the big thing with them is the numbers, right? And since you're able to take out a bunch of them, that issue's pretty much dealt with. All right,
got 4 left.
Yeah, and so we'll go with them. So the first one's gonna go on you. He's the one on the left there. He's the only guy on that side. I don't think he's gonna do anything though.
That's a big miss.
Yeah, that is a big miss. Real big miss. All right, and the other 3 are going to swarm. We'll say Alan. Can't remember the swarm rules right now, so I'm just gonna do 3 attacks, even though it is better. I don't want to hold things up too much, as it's been so long since we played.
Yes.
I'm also
looking fairly missy at the minute. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, there's nothing here anyway. But we'll get back into the rules a little bit more next session. But yeah, no, they all sort of jump onto Elmo, and they are going to impede his attack a little bit. He's going to have a negative modifier to it. As there's all just trying to like bite at his neck, and they're just holding his arms. And he's just like, God damn it, get off me. And we'll go back to you guys.
Cool. Well, Griff will try and dispatch the last one on the left.
Okay.
With his hand axe, and he also offers Elmo a witty comment and says, "Here, Elmo, you do well in an old person's home, you would." And Oh, yeah. Hopefully that gets one.
Just have to do. Where is it? There we go. Perfect. All right. Nice hit. That takes another one. So that's the entire left is gone. And so you put down that last one, or the last one on the left. There's still 3 left. And the door on the right, the opposite door you guys came from, swings open, and a massive ogre with a big battle axe as big with it just sort of comes through. You see him kind of groggily, like, wipe his eyes, just like, what's going on here? And sees you guys and just lets out a big scream as he rushes towards you guys. He's going to be going towards Naomi and Wanalon, that part of the group. But yeah, it's not going to be his turn until they go around. But yeah, that's now been added to the fight. Where is he?
Far too many ogres down here.
All right, there we go. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Perfect. All right. Let's see here. This is your turn, right? So it's Elmo and all them are going. What is there any orders you want to throw out to anybody? I would say because of actually no, it's pretty open here. It's not too close quarters. I would say maybe Alan's able to turn around and help out Naomi and them. But Elmo's kind of stuck with these skeletons on him.
Yeah, let's go with that.
And what do you want Barry to do? Do you want Barry to help just try and get rid of the skeletons quickly, or do you want him to turn on the big ogre who's come through the door?
Well, I think the ogre. I mean, the skeletons are at the minute more of an annoyance than anything dangerous. So the ogre's a bit of an unknown quantity. So I think we'll go for.
Yeah, the big thing is just the skeletons are impeding Elmo from basically getting towards the ogres. That's the only big issue. But Elmo can deal with them himself somewhat, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. All right. So Elmo's just going to try and attack with his axe. He's just kind of a -2 to his roll because they're all impeding him.
Oh.
I'm fairly sure his shock alone will. Yeah. So his shock alone kills one anyway. So that's one gun. There's only 2 left, and they're still holding him down. When he has only 1 left on him, the modifier will go away.
Yeah.
And then Barry, you want Barry to fire off at the ogre?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
Barry on the ogre.
Barry fires off at the ogre.
Ooh,
there you go, Barry.
Hits.
Hey, and a good big hit too. 9 damage. All right. How much does that ogre have? How much health? Oh my God. I'm gonna actually give him more than that because this is this is just me using the closest stat block I could find. But now he's actually down to how much damage is that?
9.
9. Okay, nice. All right, he's hurt, but he's doing okay. But that was a really big hit. So Alan turns and gets in front of Naomi and then swings out with his longsword towards the ogre. And is going to do a nice hit. The ogre is gonna feel that. All right, another big hit. He looks like he's down to around half hit points already. Good big hits. Who's left to go? Wanalon still has to go.
Wanalon, yes.
Wanalon. He's gonna run in with his magical dagger. 13's not going to hit. He's not going to be able to make through the hide, and also his shock is going to be too low to be able to hit. And Turgeon, for his move, is going to release his last turn that he can do, and just shatter the 2 skeletons that are on Elmo.
Oh, cool.
All right, so that's Turgeon, that's Wanalon. Naomi's the only one left. Do you want Naomi to do anything, or do you want her just to back off away from the ogre?
Yeah, if she could sort of make herself scarce, that would be good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hide against the opposing wall.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, so she backs off, and now it is the ogre's turn, and he is going to attack. He's going to attack Alan. Let's see if he actually hits. He does hit. Oh my God, he does 14 damage to Alan.
Ooh.
Alan, how are you doing, buddy? Oof. Okay, Alan's down to 2 hit points. And then he swings at Alan again.
Ooh, 2 attacks. Miss.
Oh boy. All right. So he slams out, I guess. he attacks Alan again, sending Alan flying unconsciously. And he's down for now. He's still alive for a little bit, but he's gonna start bleeding. He's basically bleeding out now. But yeah. Naomi, for her turn, she only backed off. She can try and heal him for her turn.
Yeah, that'll be good.
So Naomi just rushes over to him quickly, and just tries to heal him up. He is going to take some system strain. Oof. He's at 5. He is really hurt. He's on the ground. He's not frail because of magical healing, but he is looking really, really badly. He's looking really, really, really rough here. Okay. And now it is back to you guys. The ogre starts moving closer in towards the group. And what do you want to do, Martin?
Griff says, "What is it with ogres round here? You lot, you got some sort of death wish, have you? I mean, what? Just trying to do my job, and it's all." Genuinely looking annoyed. He's just going to axe the guy.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. Yeah, he just runs over with his hand axe and attacks. Nice. It's a good hit. How much damage is that total? 6 damage total. All right, he's still going. But he's looking really hurt. And then Elmo comes in with his war axe. See if he can try and finish the job that you. Oh no. Well, he can make that a hit. Do you want me to make that a hit? Yeah. So it makes that a hit. So you come in with your axe and you just sort of open up the ogre to a big slice from Elmo. And Elmo just chops straight into his shoulder, and the two of you just keep chopping away this ogre as it falls to its knees, and then finally it falls down dead. And you guys finish it off finally. And everybody's just sort of heavily breathing. You see Turgeon kind of just falls to his knees a little bit there and just sort of takes a deep breath, and Naomi continues to heal up Alan.
Oh, well, I think we should take a quick look and make sure there's nothing else going on in that room of bones. We won't want to get caught on it, will we?
No, Turgeon says as he sort of just backs off a little bit and just sort of leans against the wall.
You're right there.
It's just that took a lot out of me. I haven't cast a spell like that in a while.
Fair enough.
And the others sort of just pick up Alan. He looks like he's back to full health now. You guys have just sort of waited around there for a scene, so I'm just gonna roll another d6 here. Okay, you're good. And you guys sort of pick yourselves up. Alan leaves his trap he put down there behind you guys. And you guys go into that room so you can see what's there.
So tell me, Turgeon, what? I mean, they keep throwing bones in this pile. I mean, how can we be sure that's not going to happen again? I mean, what makes them skelify?
He says, they could have some sort of powerful necromancer who's set some sort of, permanent curse on this area.
Right.
And he and Naomi sort of check around, sort of do like detect magic kind of stuff. He says there's definitely powerful magic here, but it might not be this room. It could just be the temple has just has this sort of thing. But at least it does seem like the majority here are destroyed. There's still a bunch of like bones and pieces of flesh, and the smell of death is just super strong here, and has completely taken over your senses. He says, I don't know if there's much you can do permanently, but I'm sure at least with this, there's less of a chance of them perhaps, marching these guys out towards you in a fight. So
good. Smells like Osler's kitchen in here.
Let's see here. You guys start searching through, and there's not much in terms of gold or anything like that in the bone room. There are different like weapons and shields and short swords and armor. A lot of it's rusted or old, but I would say the only thing of real value that you find here is a piece of plate mail. It's nothing really all that special, I would say. It's a plate mail being, pretty expensive, good quality stuff. So you could probably take that and sell that for, some sort of decent price in Hommlet, since you're not being screwed as hard there now. You're still don't have great prices there, but it's not like trying to sell a Nulb. And on the giant ogre, you do find, I think in total, you do find around 250 silver pieces.
Oh, cool.
Just in differing denominations.
Well, better than nothing, I suppose. And yeah, so Griff he wants to know what this room looks like, so he's just going to kind of have a look on the left there. Oh.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, you can sort of search around there a little bit. You guys are going around just searching through, and I'll just do another little roll. Okay, you're good. Yeah, and you guys sort of just get the general idea. You can just move your character around if you want of this room.
Yep. Let's move him over there. Does it go anywhere exciting? That's the question. Oh no, it's got some entrances and exits. So I think Griff will search the little room that the ogre came out of.
Okay, sounds good. Yep, you go into that room there. You can move Griff over to it.
Yep. And he's gonna assume nobody's in there because the ogre was in there and came out, and nobody else came out. So he's guessing it's probably clear.
No, you're totally correct. There is a door to the south of it. This looks like some sort of little room for him. It looks like there's like an ogre-sized bed. There looks like there's actually like a desk. The desk you can probably sort of think is kind of hilariously small for this ogre. If he was sitting at it ever doing any writing, it would probably look pretty funny. But the thing that probably looks the most interesting to you is an iron chest that has a big padlock on it just in the corner. And you see Wanalong go towards it before Bari stops him and looks towards you.
Yeah, we got a bit of a special way of dealing with chests, so if you stand clear, I'll see what I can do with this one.
Okay. Yeah, you just sort of see like Wanalong doing this with his fingers, and then as soon as he stopped, he just kind of puts them down. He's like, I wanted to unlock the chest. But you can go over and you can give me a sneak check, Martin. Not with the Elven Cloak bonus. Just your regular kind of bonus, which I think was like a +2 or something. I can't remember what it was.
Oh.
8. Nice.
8.
That's good.
Will it?
Yeah, that's enough. Eight is like a solid kind of like test pass. So you quickly pick the big iron padlock on the iron chest. It clicks open. You take it off. And did you want to check it for traps or anything, or are you just opening it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you can just give me a nose check.
Yeah. And I think the way Griff is going to do this is get his piece of tree branch that he got earlier and find a little thing, a little sticky AD twig, and use that to kind of pull the lid up.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, you just sort of use that as a lever. All right, nice. Yeah. No, you don't notice any traps on it. I mostly just asked just because we're getting back into this, so just in case you'd forget to do that sort of thing. But yeah, you lever it open, and it looks like it's not trapped. However, it looks like it contains another 200 silver pieces.
Ooh, nice.
And it has 2 huge and remarkable, perfect. Is it agates or agates? It's
something like that.
It's agates.
Agate.
Not gates, but the jewel.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they look like. But yeah, it looks like one is worth 50 silver pieces.
Nice.
And the other one, which is like the larger, bigger one, looks like it's worth 300 silver pieces.
Oh wow, that's a good find. Well, he won't be needing this anymore, will he? And Griff secretes the stuff around his person. Griff will also listen at the southern door and see if he can hear anything. Again, he doesn't think so because he thinks that the clattering of bones and ogres probably would have brought.
Yeah, give me a nose check.
Yeah. Ooh, 12.
Yeah, so you put your ear to the door, and you notice underneath like the door, like in the crack, there's like light coming in from underneath this door, and you do see shadows, and you hear just enough, because of your high 12 roll there, you hear whispers of like, yes, I heard noises from there, Captain. I think there's somebody over there. I think the ogre might have dealt with them though. And you hear like a human voice just go and did you hear anything else? And it's all like very like low tones. But from what you can tell, like from at least the different perhaps either voices you hear, there's probably at least a few, maybe 5 to 6 creatures in here. They haven't opened the door yet on you, but it looks like they are talking amongst each other. Just a little bit, and they do seem obviously alert towards the noise that came from you guys.
So Griff is going to start gesturing to the others, and what we're going to do here is there's the door to this room, which is pretty much on the same level, the same horizontal as the door to the south. So we're going to prop this door open.
Okay.
And then we're going to retreat into the hallway that we met the skeletons in.
Okay.
And we're going to train as many bows and arrows and things as we can at that door. So as soon as it opens, the other door will already be propped open, and we'll shoot the living whatsits out of it.
Sounds good.
And Griff will just say to Wanalon, look, while we cover this door, I noticed you were doing some things over there with that other door. Do you mind doing whatever you did over there?
He says, yes, not a problem at all, boss. I just gotta make sure. Okay, yeah. So he, just per the rules, he takes the supplies from the other trap and just moves it over towards this one now. He just puts down the bear trap and like the nails and broken glass and other things there, and just sets it up. And you see him just sort of throw dirt on it and a few like rags to really cover it up so it's not too obvious. And then so just to make sure I have the plan right. You're gonna prop the door open to alert them so that they come through.
Oh no. So that door there, the one into this room.
Yep.
We'll prop that one open.
Yep.
So and we're going to sort of be around that general area. So if they come through that door there.
Okay, so you're not trying to trigger them. You're just if they come through is your plan. You're not trying to.
We've got a trap there now, so that's good. And there's going to be the 3 of us with bows where Griff is on the map at the minute.
Okay.
And we'll give it a minute and see if anyone comes through. But if not, we might sort of, I don't know, throw a bone into the room or something and just start making some odd noises.
Okay, sounds good. So you Wallen puts the trap down. Elmo and Alan both take out their bows. Bari takes out his crossbow. Naomi and Turgeon sort of stay together with we'll say Wanalon a little bit there. Do you want to give me another notice check? So you wait here for about like 10 minutes or so, and you still haven't seen anybody come through just yet.
9.
And okay, so with 9, you do hear footsteps coming from through that door now. The door opens up to the south, the one that you heard the voices come from. But you also hear what sounds like footsteps coming from the north that have like come around. What do you want to do, Martin? You have like basically one action to sort of
That's not what I was expecting. So Griff's going to get a couple of flasks of oil. I don't know how much a flask of oil holds, but maybe, I don't know, maybe sort of 3 or 4. And just toss these to the north. We're going to try and create some sort of slip hazard stroke flaming wall if necessary.
Okay.
So yeah.
Sounds good.
And so Griff will be busy doing that whilst leaving the other 3 with the bows trained on the door.
All right, sounds good. So I'll say that because they're not doing anything else, Naomi and Wanalon help you. They just immediately pull out flasks with you. And you guys chuck them to the north, where they shatter and the oil goes all over the ground, just as what looks like a group of armed men and what looks like one wizard come around the corner from the north. Ooh. At the same time, what looks like 6 gnolls and 2 men come bounding through the south over the trapdoor, and they all pull out their weapons and yell as they all like run towards you guys. And that's where we're going to end off the session tonight, Martin.
Damn it.
But no, that was great. That was a really fun session, Martin.
Man. Boxed into the corner. I thought we had them on the back foot there, but no.
I mean, they still had the trap to go off of, and you also threw down oil just as they were coming around, so you do have a bit of a chance here. And you do still have that door right behind you right here that you can get out of. So it is rough, but you do have still a pretty good chance. You got a good group.
We need to start getting rid of these guys, because every time we see more than about 4 or 5 guards, we run, and it's
yeah.
It's
the whole thing with this big ass temple, right?
Yeah.
So, but no, that was so much fun. It was really great to be back and playing this. And that was a nice little comeback to the game.
Yeah. Yes, we'll have to do something with those names. We need to start sowing some confusion around the place.
Yeah. I'll get through those names for you during the week, and then we'll go over that again at the beginning of the next session, just for everybody in the audience, so you guys can recognize the names as well. I hope everybody in the audience, you guys had fun. I do believe, how many you have left? You have 300 bits left from this session,
yes,
correct?
That's what I've got written down,
my mom write that down just so that we know that for next time, because those will carry over. Thank you to PT for the generous donations and helping out with that.
I think we're going to need those next time round.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you guys next week.